Part 2 is now in session, so let's continue with the 1984 VHS of The Cannibal Run 2 with Burt Reynolds, the late Dom DeLuise, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., and Shirley MacLaine. It also stars the late great Frank Sinatra as well. And the film itself is also from 1984. An explosion of stars, stunts, and laughs. This cannibal packs it all. This is rated PG and it is 109 minutes. I got this tape very recently. Very difficult Warner Home Video clamshell to find. It's the Warner Home Video logo engraved on the clamshell. Here's the sticker label and the end label. And next up is the 1986 VHS of Revolution with Al Pacino and Donald Sutherland. The film is from 1985. The war that won a nation its freedom, a woman her destiny, a young man his independence, and a father his son's love. One man's fight, a nation's destiny. And this is rated PG and it's 125 minutes. Here's the sticker label and the end label. And next up is the 1986 VHS of The Best of Dan Aykroyd, a video album of unforgettably funny Aykroyd characters. And this compilation is also from 1986. This is technically a Saturday Night Live tape. You have the sketches on here, if you want to pause and read them. And this is 56 minutes. Here's the sticker label and the end label. And next up is the 1986 VHS of A Clockwork Orange with Malcolm McDowell and Patrick McGee. And this is directed by the late Stanley Kubrick. The film is from 1971. A dark, ironic tale of an ultra-violent future. And this is rated R and it's 138 minutes. Interesting fact, in the UK, this film was pulled from distribution because of death threats until 1999, I believe. Here's the sticker label and the end label. I'm still looking for the original Warner Home Video clamshell of this tape. And next up is the 1986 VHS of Police Academy 3, Back in Training, with Steve Guttenberg, the late Bubba Smith, Michael Winslow, and a few others, and George Gaines. A completely arresting comedy hit. An open and shut case of non-stop laughter. And this is rated PG, and it is 83 minutes. Here's the sticker label and the end label. And the film is also from 1986. And next up is the 1987 VHS of Never Say Never Again with Sean Connery. It also stars Kim Basinger and Max von Sydow. And the film is from 1983. This is an unofficial James Bond film. The real 007 is back. Older, grittier, greater than ever, says Rex Reed. And this is rated PG and it is 134 minutes. Here's the sticker label and the end label. And next up is the 1987 VHS of The Outsiders with Matt Dillon, Ralph Macchio, the late Patrick Swayze, Rob Lowe, and Diane Lane, and co-stars Emilio Estevez and Tom Cruise. Filmed in 1983. They grew up on the outside of society. They weren't looking for a fight, they were looking to belong. And this is directed by Francis Ford Coppola. It's based off a novel by S.E. Hinton, which on the front it incorrectly refers to the author as S.F. Hutton. A classic story of kids on the outside of society. And this is rated PG and it's 91 minutes. I do have this on DVD as well. Here's the sticker label and the end label. This came from Camden TV and Appliance in Niles, Michigan and Edwardsburg, Michigan. And next up is the 1987 VHS of Police Academy 2, The First Assignment, with Steve Guttenberg, the late Bubba Smith, and Michael Winslow, and a few others. Filmed in 1985. Watch out. They've got to clean up the worst crime district in the world. But that's no problem. They're the worst police force in the universe. To protect, to serve, and to make you laugh. America's Funniest Crime Busters are back. And this is rated PG-13. And it is 87 minutes. Here's the sticker label and the end label. Still looking for the Warner clamshell of this from 1985. Even though I do have it on Betamax. And next up is the 1987 VHS of Little Shop of Horrors with Steve Martin and Rick Moranis. And this is the 1986 film version of the off-Broadway musical, which is loosely based off the 1960 film starring Jack Nicholson. One of the year's most entertaining films. A hot house full of laughs, says the late Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune. And this is rated PG-13 and it is 94 minutes. And this is directed by Frank Oz. This has a preview for Inner Space at the beginning, which I will upload the opening. Here's the sticker label and the end label. And next up is the 1987 VHS of The Color Purple with Danny Glover and Oprah Winfrey. And this also stars Ray Dong Chung as well. A Steven Spielberg film. The film itself is from 1985. The Best Picture of the Year is stated by the National Board Review and the late Roger Ebert of Siskel and Ebert in the Movies. And this is rated PG-13 and it is 154 minutes. And this is in the letterbox format. On the film also stars Whoopi Goldberg. Here's the sticker label and the end label. And next up is the 1987 VHS of Around the World in 80 Days with David Niven, Kenneth Flas, Robert Newton, and Shirley MacLaine. And the film is from 1956 and it won 5 Academy Awards including Best Picture. Fun fact, this film was originally released by United Artists, but Warner Brothers obtained the rights in 1983. The Academy Award-winning All-Star Extravaganza that took the world by storm. And this is rated G and it is 179 minutes. And it says copyright renewed 1983. Here's the sticker label. Here's part 1 and part 2. Here are both end labels. And next up is the 1987 VHS of Lethal Weapon with Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. 2 cops. Glover carries a weapon, Gibson is one. He's the only LA cop registered as a lethal weapon. Directed by Richard Donner. And the film's from 1987. One of the best, most exciting police action thrillers since The French Connection, says Jeffrey Lyons in sneak previews on INN. And this is rated R and it's 110 minutes. Here's the sticker label and the end label. And next up is the 1987 VHS of Police Academy 4, Citizens on Patrol, with Steve Guttenberg, the late Bobby Smith, and Michael Winslow, and a few others. Take off with the original cast and some new civilian recruits as they take to the streets and the skies to fight crime. The film itself is also from 1987. The gang that's all for fun and fun for all. This is rated PG and it is 88 minutes. Here's the sticker label and the end label. And next up is the 1987 VHS of Superman 4, Request for Peace, with Gene Hackman and the late Christopher Reeve. And this also stars Margaret Kidder. The film is also from 1987. The Man of Steel declares war on nuclear arms. This is rated PG and it is 90 minutes. Here's the sticker label and the end label. And next up is the 1988 VHS of Full Metal Jacket, directed by the late Stanley Kubrick. And this stars Matthew Modine, Adam Baldwin, Vincent D'Onofrio, and R. Lee Ermey. Acclaimed by critics around the world as the best war movie ever made. The film itself is from 1987. The best war movie ever made, says Jay Scott of the Toronto Globe and Mail. This is rated R and it's 117 minutes. Here's the sticker label and the end label. And next up is the 1988 VHS of Police Academy 5, Assignment Miami Beach, with the late Bobby Smith and Michael Winslow. The film is also from 1988. Assignment Miami Beach. Objective, laughs. This is rated PG and it's 90 minutes. Here's the sticker label and the end label. And next up is the 1988 VHS of Funny Farm with Chevy Chase, directed by the late George Roy Hill. The film itself is also from 1988. A comedy with very large laughs. Chevy Chase does some of his best work, says the late Joe Siegel of Good Morning America and ABC TV. This is rated PG and it's 101 minutes. Here's the sticker label and the end label. And the next one I have is the 1989 VHS of Police Academy 6, City Under Siege, with the late Bobby Smith and Michael Winslow. The film is also from 1989. Cop all the laughs of the all-time #1 comedy series. This is rated PG and it's 84 minutes. Here's the sticker label and the end label. This came from Flicks Home Video in Lockport, Illinois. And next up is the 1989 VHS of Batman with Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton. And this is the 1989 Tim Burton movie. The movie of the decade says Eric Preminger of KGO TV San Francisco. 4 stars. Spectacular entertainment, says Jack Garner of the Gannett News Service. And a triumph. You can't take your eyes off it, says Peter Travers of Rolling Stone. This is rated PG-13 and it's 126 minutes. Here's the sticker label, and the print dates are May 14th, 1989 and August 10th, 1989. And next up is the 1989 VHS of Lethal Weapon 2 with Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. It also stars Joe Pesci as well. Also directed by Richard Donner. Pure dynamite. Enough humor, excitement, and action for 2 movies, says Rex Reed about the movies. And this is rated R and it's 114 minutes. Here's the sticker label, and there's no print date. And next up is the 1989 VHS of Bugs and Daffy's Carnival of the Animals. It's a Warner Brothers cartoon cavalcade tape. And this is a Looney Tunes television special directed by the late Chuck Jones. And features the voice of Mel Blanc. Special from 1976. And this is 26 minutes. Here's the sticker label, and the print dates are August 2nd, 1993 and August 19th, 1993. And the last 3 are Saturday Night Live tapes, and this one is Madeline Kahn. These are all from 1989. Musical guest, Carly Simon. And the air date for the episode is May 8th, 1976. You have the sketches on here. 68 minutes. Here's the sticker label and end label. And here is Buck Henry. And the air dates for the episodes are May 20th, 1978 and May 26th, 1979. And this is 120 minutes. Here's the sticker label and the end label. And the last one for this part is Gary Busey. And the end date for this episode is March 10th, 1979. And this is 70 minutes. Here's the sticker label and the end label. And that's going to be it for part 2, and stay tuned in part 3.